What's poppin'? It's Mafi D, and we just jumped off the porch with Dirty Glove Bastard.
Hey, rule number one, put one in the head, don't write shit on the trunk. Rule number two, they spin, you spin, your mama ain't raised no punk.
All right, so we got my boy Mafi D jumping off the porch with us today,
yes,
man.
Sir, man, what's poppin'? What's poppin'?
Yeah, I'm feeling great. How you feeling today,
I'm
man?
all right, man. You know, just got in the city, fucking around, man, trying to figure it out. You know,
Yes, sir.
I'm loving Atlanta right now, though.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. You make it down here often or not too much?
I mean, not too much, you know what I'm saying, but I'm for sure. I got plans on doubling back, man, and planting my feet around here, man, for sure.
Absolutely, man.
For sure.
All right, so what is it about the vibes here in Atlanta that you really fuck with?
Man, it's just way more going on, bro. Way more opportunity, you feel me, than what I'm used to back home in Seattle, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you can just stick and move, bro. Shit, way more black people, you know what I'm saying? Shit, that's something new to me, I ain't gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, so you mentioned being from Seattle, man. I've had a few people from Seattle, or actually that lived in Seattle, sit on the porch, but I think you might be the first native from Seattle to actually make it on.
Yeah, man. I don't really know too many motherfuckers back home that done really did this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of trying to be the first one to make that shit known. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all for having me on here.
Yeah, no problem, man. So I need you to fill me in, like on the culture and what's life like in Seattle. I ain't never been out there. I never made it that far up north.
Man, to be honest with you, bro, the culture, I mean, it's like any other culture, you feel me? I mean, we're a melting pot, you know what I'm saying? So like, there's a small percentage of black people, you know what I'm saying? So motherfuckers that don't know nothing about it, they probably don't even think there's no niggas up there, or no real niggas, you know what I'm saying? But there's definitely a culture, you feel me? A street culture, there's, you know what I'm saying? But it's closed off to the masses because there's not that many of us. It's like a secret society. Like when you there and you get in between motherfuckers, then you know what I'm saying? It's like a if you know type of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For sure.
Understood. Now, when it comes to the music scene, how would you describe the music scene in Seattle? Because we don't hear too many rappers
Man,
blowing up.
I ain't gonna lie, the music scene in Seattle, man, it pisses me off too because there's a lot of talent, but ain't nobody willing to. I seem like motherfuckers are scared of heights, you know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody willing to lead that motherfucker, go do what they gotta do. Like, you can consider yourself dope, but how you know that you really who you are if you don't get around other dope motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Like, but as far as the talent, like, there's a lot of talent in Seattle, man. It's just, it's uncharted waters. It just ain't been tapped into, you know what I'm saying?
Would you say there's a lot of unity amongst the artists in the city, or is it just kind of everyone doing their own thing?
Nah, not really. You know what I'm saying? Niggas be big-headed. Niggas is big-headed, but you know what I'm saying, for no reason. Like, motherfuckers ain't made it. There ain't nobody out there that really done opened the gates. Like you said, you ain't really heard nothing from Seattle, but what, a Macklemore or something? Or a little Moses? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. But so, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, there's a little bit of unity, but there be a lot of backbiting and, you know what I'm saying, hidden agendas and niggas feeling certain type of ways. It'd be hard to connect. But I feel like if motherfuckers did connect more and everybody shared their resources and shit, hell yeah, Seattle would be popping.
Yeah. Now, is there any opportunities for artists out there? Is it like, you know, showcases, kind of showcasing the talent there?
I mean, there is, but the niggas that be holding the showcases and shit, they kind of be, they rather use the artists than uplift them. You know what I'm saying? They rather pay an out-of-town motherfucker to come out and get it popping, which is understandable, but nigga, we here, and we the ones that's dealing with this shit, we in the streets, so nigga, make it worth our while. Don't just pay the out-of-town nigga and then expect us to come to the show and put on for free, because we bringing a draw too, and we the ones still in the streets, nigga. If this shit gets shot up, it's because of us. You know what I'm saying? If something happens, it's because of us. So make it worth our while, nigga. Let's get some money, nigga. Pay a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, period, point blank. Yeah. Pay a nigga. We trying to figure out how to feed our kids off this shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let a nigga see some residuals, man.
So would you say you get more support, like, are most of your fans in Seattle, or are they elsewhere spread out through the country?
No, I got fans in Seattle, but I'm just trying to expand, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to get caught up in the hometown, trying to be the hometown king or the hometown, you know what I'm saying? I want to expand and then bring it back and open them doors, you know what I'm saying?
Understood. Now, would you say there's like a certain sound coming out of Seattle right now, or is it kind of all over the place?
It's all over the place. There's not really too many people that sound like somebody. Like, you're not going to listen to a Seattle artist and be like, oh, I heard this before. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's hella different sounds, hella different.
Okay. All right, so let's take it back to your childhood, Mafia. Like, what were you into as a kid coming up in Seattle, man?
Man, to be honest, my childhood, bro, it was cool. You know what I'm saying? It's aside from like my father being locked up all my life and shit. You know what I'm saying? End up, you know, getting into the streets, being from the same hood as my pops. I pretty much had like a regular childhood, man. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really like school all like that. I was a class clown, you know what I'm saying? I was really fucking with the bitches and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, just, you know, trying to impress them and shit. Yeah, bro, I mean, I had a regular childhood. It wasn't that fucked up, you know? I mean, to me, it's like a common thing to grow up without your dad nowadays, as far as, you know what I'm saying, African Americans and shit, you know? So I wouldn't consider that to be something so detrimental, but a lot of motherfuckers would, you know?
And you got kids now?
Yeah, I got kids. I got 3, yeah.
Okay. So how important is it for you to be there for them?
Man, it's very important. Like even now, like I be thinking, you know what I'm saying? Cause like you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, you know what I'm saying, to survive or to just make a way for your family, make a way for yourself first. Cause if you ain't good, you can't be good for the next motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? So I think about that shit all the time, and that's why I'm trying to put my best foot forward in the music, cause I feel like I really got something here, you know what I'm saying? And I can't afford to leave them. I feel like that would be selfish because I know what it's like. You know what I'm saying? I've been down that road. I've seen it. I've lived it. You feel me? So I don't want to put my kids through that. I want my kids to be proud of their dad. Yeah, for sure.
Do you and your pops got any type of relationship today?
No, that's my nigga. Okay. I ain't gonna lie, that's my nigga. Like we chop it up on the line all the time. Like I commend him though because he raised me all my life. He been in. I'm what 27 right now. And he been in jail since I was 3.
Oh, wow.
But he raised me, but it just been through 20-minute interval phone calls.
Yeah.
But I just be thinking like, okay, imagine what he had to go through. You know, him and my mom was probably getting into it. There was probably motherfuckers trying to keep him away from me, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just call if 2 adults is at it, you know what I'm saying? You can't just call and be like, oh, let me talk to my son. I'm 3 years old. I can't even really talk. We ain't even gonna have much of a conversation, but just to think of the shit that he had to go through to maintain that relationship and for us to be this close, it's like, okay, I respect it. And then once I got into the streets and shit, it was really because I was trying to like get a sense of who my dad was in a way, you know what I'm saying? And then once I got in the streets and started fucking around, I was like, okay, I can understand how a person can travel down the road and end up in that situation and get life, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, I never resented them for it, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Understood. So when would you say you jumped off the porch? How old were you?
I was like 13, 14.
Okay.
Yep, 13, 14, man. I took advantage of that situation, man, because there really wasn't no male figures in my life like that to calm me down or to, you know, all I had was, I grew up around mostly women, you know what I'm saying? Like all the men in my family, they been in and out of jail, even my grandfather, you know what I'm saying? Like niggas been in and out of jail all my life, so I just, you know, I took advantage of that shit, and when you ain't got that strong male presence in your life to double down on a young kid, it's like he's gonna take that energy and put it into whatever he feels, whatever he thinks is popping, or whatever he thinks is fun at the time, or he's enjoying. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't even look at it like you in the streets. You just like, nigga, my friend is up the street. You know what I'm saying? My friends is outside. Nigga, let me be outside with them, and then when y'all ain't doing shit, of course y'all gonna get into a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that's real. At what point did you realize, all right, the streets isn't where it's at, man. I got to take a more positive route with this shit?
When I had my daughter.
Okay.
When I had my daughter, it was just like, okay, something got to change. Really, I started doing, I'm going to be honest with you, it was the music first. It was the music. It kind of gave me like a sense of purpose. You know what I'm saying? It kind of gave me like a identity, like a reason to do something different. You know what I'm saying? It was like I kind of always felt like what I was doing wasn't my end all be all, you feel me? But I didn't have nothing that was gonna be like deter me from everything, you feel me? So the music kind of gave me that, it gave me purpose. And then once I had my daughter, it was like, okay, nigga, instead of just being in the streets, hanging out, getting into it with niggas, you gotta, now it's like, okay, now it's like, there's 2 sides. It's like there's niggas that's just in the streets that just that just want to drop shit, you know what I'm saying? Then there's niggas in the streets that just want to get money. And it's like I had to do a whole 180. Like, nigga, if you gonna be in the streets, get the bag, because now you got a kid and now you got something that you want to invest in and you see yourself doing. So I feel like it was a little bit of both. It was the music and having my daughter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when did music come into your life as far as like making it?
To be honest, bro, I always, as far as making it, one of my niggas from my hood, he just came home too, my nigga Dirty. I used to be freestyling this shit in the hood on the block and just fucking around, you know what I'm saying? And my nigga, he ended up seeing that I really wanted to do that shit, you know what I'm saying? And he would push me to do that shit, like tell me like, nigga, you need to be writing. He'll call me like, nigga, did you write today? Da, da, da. Or if I'm saying shit, oh, nigga, you need to write it down. Da, da, da. You know what I'm saying? So that, and then there was another nigga from my area who was actually doing the music. And I used to fuck with him and ride around with him and shit and just pick his head. And it was like, for me, seeing a nigga do it made it believable. You know what I'm saying? Like it made me realize, okay, damn, well, if he can do it and I can just call this nigga like it's nothing, then I can do that shit. You know what I'm saying? It made it believable. So that's when I started really doing the music. It was like, okay, once I seen somebody doing it, I was like, yep, I can really do this shit then too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who'd you grow up listening to? Like, who did they be listening to in Seattle?
Man, a lot of West Coast artists, bro.
Okay.
Like I grew up listening to like Mac Dre and Messy Marv and who else? E40, of course, you feel me, the Lil Waynes and shit, you know what I'm saying? But I was real West Coast, so I say like Mac Dre and Messy Marv and 40 and shit. That's who I really grew up really listening to.
The legends right
Yeah,
there.
no, for real.
Yeah.
For real.
So how'd you get the name Mafi D, or who gave you that?
I gave myself that name, bro, because I was going by Lil D for the longest, you feel me? But that was just the shit that, the name that my niggas in the hood that gave me, you feel me? My dad, his name's Big DJ, so I'm just Lil D, you know what I'm saying, for short. But, nigga, I was just thinking like, you feel me? I'm about to be a grown-ass man. I can't be little forever, you know what I'm saying? So I had caught a Fed case in like 2015, and while I was down, I was really thinking about how I was gonna come back out and rebrand myself, you know what I'm saying? And I had came up with this record label called Mafia Klick Records.
Okay.
And I got the name Mafia Klick from my pops. He had like an old school clique of gangsta ass niggas in the streets, you feel me, back in the day, and like the I wanna say probably the early mid 90s, you know what I'm saying? And they was called the Mafia Klick. And I just took that, and I was just like, fuck it, let me just take a negative and turn it into a positive, made the record label. And then in the process of that, I was like, you know what is my new name gonna be? What's my new handle? And I was like, okay, Mafia D. And I just took the A off of Mafia and just started calling myself Mafia D, and then motherfuckers ran with it. I ran with it and shit, you know, here we are.
Okay, that's what's good, man. Did you have to do much time? What happened with the case? Did they drop the charges? Or?
I only did a year, so it wasn't that much time. I feel like it was a blessing from God for real, because during my sentencing, the judge was like, man, I'ma hold you back so you can watch and see what's about to happen to this next guy that's about to go up in front of you. And he ended up handing out like 12 years to the nigga, but the nigga was probably like well in his probably like late 30s and something, you know what I'm saying? So 12 years, nigga, that's a big chunk of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
like
he
50.
probably already, you know what I mean? So he probably already did time. You feel me? So when I seen that shit, and then I'm up there saying dumbass shit too. You feel me? When you get up there in front of the judge and they're like, oh, Mr. Jones, you got something to say for yourself? I'm just like, nah, I take full accountability. And niggas are trying to tell me to cry. I'm like, bro, I'm not doing all that shit. I ain't doing all that shit. But the judge ended up was like, you feel me, only gave me a year and shit. And they was just like, you know, you got a chance. I don't know whatever it is, but I don't feel like basically you deserve to be where you at right now. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, it was a blessing for sure.
Okay.
It was a blessing for sure.
And going back to the label, what's some goals for the label? You trying to put other artists on? Or you just more focused on putting yourself on at this point? Or?
I had some niggas from my neighborhood that I was fucking with. I still got motherfuckers that I be fucking with, but I feel like, just to be honest, like, you gotta be selfish. You know what I'm saying, at one point, like I said earlier, if you ain't good, you can't be good for nobody. You know what I'm saying? So I got niggas, and you know what I'm saying, I'm pushing my niggas, but right now I gotta get myself through that door so I can be of real help to motherfuckers that's around me. You know what I'm saying?
Real shit.
For sure.
What do you feel like are some of the pros and cons of being an independent artist in the game right now?
Shit, everything's solely on you. You know what I'm saying? Just, you gotta have your bag right. If your bag ain't right, man, I don't really feel like there's really too much you gonna be able to do. You know what I'm saying? And then if you got a motherfucker that's backing you, unless they genuinely fuck with you, it's like, okay, well, what comes with this? You know what I'm saying? But I feel like if two motherfuckers can sit down and it makes sense and agree on business, then it can work. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like a lot of people go into this shit blinded because they just want to do the music so motherfucking bad. They don't really focus on the business side of it. And I feel I kind of, and even me, I'm still learning the business through trial and error and shit. So I would have to sit down with a motherfucker and I'm not against it, but it would just have to make sense to me.
Absolutely,
You know what I'm
yeah. Especially with the business, this shit's like always changing anyway. So it's like,
I was just telling my nigga, like, music is like the only job where there's no step-by-step plan to get to where you want to get to. This shit can happen sporadically at any time. You feel me? You can get your moment at any time. You feel me? You just gotta be ready. You feel me? I feel like it's just all about, you just gotta be ready and be confident. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know when your time gonna come.
Real
For
shit.
sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Talk about your experience at South by Southwest.
Man, that shit was live, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like, being around, like, back home in Seattle, like, we don't have none of that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So going out there and being around all that shit is kind of like a culture shock. Like, damn, this shit's real. Like, we see this shit, we see other artists do it, and we think that shit's in outer space. Nigga, that shit is a bus ride and a plane or what, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't think that shit's real. So for a nigga to go out there and see that shit, it was like, damn. I went back home with like a new mindset, like, dawg, this shit's out here. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta get up and get to it. Like, that shit back home ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, Seattle's a small motherfucking dot on this whole piece of the pie. Like, nigga, there's 50 states and umpteen motherfucking cities in each state, and everybody's trying to do music. Everybody's trying to get to the same motherfucking spot, but not everybody's gonna go the same route. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I took from it. I'm like, damn, everybody's out here doing music, the same shit I'm doing. Like, I gotta step this shit up. I ain't doing nothing. You feel me? I ain't doing nothing. It humbled me though.
Yeah.
It humbled me for sure.
Nah, you get that firsthand look of everyone grinding, everyone got the same dream and everything. It's definitely gonna make you want to step your shit up.
But you gotta be around that shit though, if that's what you're trying to do, because it's only gonna make you better, and then it's gonna give you a better understanding, okay, what's going on. You can pick and pull from everything that's going on around you and implement that shit in your grind. You know what I'm saying? Real
shit, man. I saw you got the opportunity to open up for Dolph in Seattle, right?
Yeah. Yep. I ain't get to meet him, but it was a good experience. You know what I'm saying? And I did the little show in PO too back then, man. That was the last time. I wish I could have plugged in with him and figured some shit out. You know what I'm saying? RIP to Dolph, but you know, it was cool. It was a good experience. That was probably the biggest crowd I ever rocked. You know what I'm saying? Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what's your thoughts on like opening up for bigger artists? Because I hear from both angles with artists. Some say it's worth it, some say it's not because, you know, people ain't really tuned in at the time.
For me, I ain't gonna lie, I'm just hella optimistic. So any opportunity, if I can get around a major artist, I look at it like, I'm looking at it like I'm in the same room as this person. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And how many other people, if I can get next to him, how many other motherfuckers can I get next to with the same type of grind, or if I just keep going, if I just keep hitting the you know what I'm saying, the nail, how far will I get? So I don't really look at it like, oh, it ain't worth it, especially if it's a major artist. Hell yeah, I'm trying to do that shit. Let's do it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's all about exposure. Yep. So you get to be up there in front of those people.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what every artist who ain't signed or that's what we got actually working for us, is that every day, everybody's looking for new music. You know what I'm saying? Even the artists, we stay trying to listen to new motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Because the same old motherfucker, that shit gets old quick. You know what I'm saying? Music gets old quick. So that's what we got working for us, is that motherfuckers is looking for new music every day, new talent. So why not put yourself in front of these new eyes?
Real shit, man.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, let's talk about some of these songs you got out, man. Let's start with this Motion you just put out.
Motion, man. Oh, you niggas claim that motion. But I don't like you niggas just standing still. That shit, shout out my nigga Food Money too, man. That shit, that shit's hard. We just came up with that shit on the fly, bro.
Okay.
Yep. we just came up with that shit on the fly.
You guys plan to shoot a video for that one?
No, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. As soon as I get back to the town, for sure.
Gotcha.
For sure, we going up.
Yeah, I fucked with this song and video for Rules, man. Mm-hmm. Talk about that. For people who haven't heard, just kind of break down what you rapping about on this shit, man.
Rules, man. I'm just really just giving the, on my perspective, man, just a code of the streets. You know what I'm saying? Just shit to live by. You know what I mean? Like, I know I got a rule in there where I'm like, you feel me, don't share your location till you leave. Everybody seen what happened to P&B Rock, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit's real, you know? And now it's like, but before it happened to P&B Rock, that shit's happening for real in the streets.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like P&B Rock situation just highlighted it, you know what I'm saying? And so that shit been going on, but like, you know what I'm saying? That shit is just something that you should just live by, you feel me? Especially everything that's going on. Niggas is hating, you know what I'm saying? And if you really into politics like that, you don't really want to know you don't really want motherfuckers to know where you at anyway. But it's like, the times now, everybody, you can't do shit without a motherfucker trying to put you on the gram or put you on Snapchat or showing you know what I'm saying? Like that shit, but when you think about it, that shit ain't cool. It ain't really cool like that. Like there gotta be some part of your life that's sacred. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's taking a turn. So yeah, that song is just basically just talking about, you know, just codes to live by in the streets and shit.
Absolutely, man. Gotta move cautious out here, man. Absolutely.
Nah, for sure.
Man. And I understand you and Sauce Walka got a song and video about to drop, right?
That Walk on Water, what's so crazy was I wasn't even about to do that shit. I wasn't even about to do it. I was fucked up, going through some personal shit, and my nigga Go, he ended up putting a song together. It's really his song, you know what I'm saying? But he's on some shit like, I'm trying to get the niggas in the city that's working. I'm trying to get everybody together, make these plays, just being a director of traffic, you feel me? He hit me and was like, bro, I got Sauce in the booth, pull up, let's, you know what I'm saying, let's figure something out. And I get there, do the record. I ain't even really talked to Sauce like that, you know what I'm saying? I probably said a couple words and, you know what I'm saying, dapped it up with him and then I was gone. Then I had to go to AZ for my birthday. They ended up shooting the video. I'm hella mad because I'm like, nigga, I want to be there if you gonna do this, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, so now I'm being resistant. Once I get back home, I'm being resistant. I'm like, nah, this nigga already shot it. I don't even want to be a part of it. But then I sat back and was like, nigga, who the fuck am I to be turning down an opportunity that was given to me for free? You get what I'm saying? Like, he's looking out for me. Nigga, I ain't in no position to be trying to turn anything down. So I was just like, fuck it. I put my big boy pants on. We shot the video. You know what I'm saying? That shit's gonna come out too. Walk on Water, man. You know what I'm saying? It's coming.
Yeah,
it's
the snippet, that shit look hard,
yeah,
man.
no, that shit's hard, for sure.
Yeah.
That shit's hard, for sure, for sure.
So you working on a new project right now?
Yep, I got this album coming out, man, on November 30th called 1522. And that was my grandma's address in the hood and shit. So I'm just taking it back to the essence of this shit and where it started for me, you know what I'm saying? And I did that because I feel like when I was making music, I was making music based off of shit that my niggas wanted to hear or how my niggas wanted me to sound, you know? And I feel like this album is just solely me. I'm not taking no insight from the outside, you know what I'm saying? This is just all me. So just taking this shit back.
For sure, man. So who are some of the producers you've been working with on this album?
I've been working with my boy Jacob. These are all Seattle producers too. I've been working with my boy Jacob Lincoln, Spaz on the beat, Ray Shines. Who else is on that? Oh, my boy out of Indiana, Touch Money's on there. Who else is on that motherfucker? Oh, my boy J. Cole's on there too. So yeah, we got some shit, man. We got some shit, for sure.
Plan to put any features on there, or is this all you?
I got a couple features. I got a feature with my nigga Redhead. He's a Virginia native, but he's out here in Atlanta now too. Okay. My boy Slim Really Trap, that's my nigga, that's my day one. He back home in Seattle. And I got a feature with 2 Times out of Kansas City on there too. Okay. Yeah.
So do you know what your next video is gonna be?
Yeah, man, this shit called Red Fago. We actually been shooting that shit while I've been in Atlanta, so, you know. Okay. That's gonna be the next one.
Bet. And what's your creative process? You write, you punch in, do a little bit of both, or what?
Man, I do a little bit of both, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. It just all depends on how I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying? It just all depends on how I'm feeling. If I'm in the mood to write, then I'm gonna write. If I'm in the mood to just go in there and punch in and just say whatever come off my head, and that's what we doing. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I feel like sound good at the moment, that's what I'm on.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when do you feel like you make your best music then? Is it when you're good mood, going through some real life
I
shit,
ain't
you
gonna
pissed
lie.
off?
I feel like I make my best music when I'm fucked up, when I'm going through some shit.
I mean, it makes sense though.
I ain't gonna lie, when I'm fucked up, it be like, damn, nigga, you make your hardest shit, nigga, when life's fucked up for you. You know what I'm saying? When you going through relationship problems, you broke, nigga, the trap ain't right, you trying to figure something out, you know what I'm saying? Family issues, like, I touch on all them topics. I'm one of them artists that don't give a fuck. Like, I'm gonna be vulnerable on this motherfucker because I want somebody to take something from my music. I don't want you to just listen to my shit because it sound good. I want you to listen and be like, damn, that nigga, hold on. I want to give you chills like that nigga saying some shit. Like, I'm going through that shit right now with my bitch type shit. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
No, that's what always, makes those listeners like diehard fans too.
Yep.
Is when they can relate to what the fuck you're rapping about, man.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like that music gives you a feeling. People listen to music when they happy, when they sad, when they hurt, when they want to turn up. You know what I'm saying? When they want to be chill on some cool shit. So that's what I want motherfuckers to take from my music is the feeling. I want to give them a feeling. You know what I'm saying?
I dig that.
Sure.
So November 30th, you said for the album?
Yep,
Okay.
that's when it's dropping.
For sure, man. So what's some of your goals for your career, whether it's short term or long term?
I'm trying to take this shit as far as it can go. You know what I'm saying? As far as it can go, man. That's my goals. Like, of course, a nigga want to. I wouldn't say I want to ink a deal, but I just want to grow my brand. You know, however that may be, however it may seem, and I also, I just want to. Honestly, to be honest, success for me, man, would just be being able to feed my family and my kids off of what I love to do. To be honest, you know what I'm saying? But I also do feel like I got enough talent and enough game, and I feel like I'm built for this shit to be able to take this shit to the next level also. So however this shit come, I'm not turning nothing down.
I dig that, man.
Yeah.
What's some advice you would share to the youth coming up right now?
Don't be scared to move around. Don't be scared to move around, man, because one thing my pops always told me is that your network is your net worth. So as long as you move around and, you know what I'm saying, your arm reaches long, you got all these different people, you don't know where your door's gonna open up at, you know what I'm saying? And always listen, you know what I'm saying? You don't gotta just be up under a nigga ass, but you feel me, whatever somebody's telling you, take bits and pieces from it that you can understand and implement that shit, you know what I'm saying? Don't always feel like, and if you in a city and you got, you might be getting a little buzz, you might be getting some clout or something, don't let that shit get to your head, you know what I'm saying? Because this is one of them things where at any moment there might be a nigga hotter than you that come up and skyrocket past you, and now what do you got? And motherfuckers is only gonna remember you for being that asshole or being that dickhead that thought he was, you know what I'm saying? And now you're emotional, your water's cut off. So, you know what I'm saying? Just, be humble and just move around.
Yeah. Wise words right there, man.
Yeah.
Anything else you're working on outside of music at this moment?
Moving the fuck down here.
There you go.
Feel me? That's what the fuck I'm working on. Get down here in the A, man. You feel me? That's what it is.
Yeah.
For sure.
I feel that.
For sure.
Any words for your fans, anything like that?
Oh yeah, shit. Go get the album when it drop. You feel me? November 30th, man. 1522 Mafi D. Go hit the Instagram Mafi D, MAFID KLICKUP, and tap in.
Hey, rule number one, put one in the head, don't write shit on the trunk. Rule number two, they spin, you spin, yo, mama ain't raised no punk. Rule number three, stack it up.